Welcome. My name is Rich, and this is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. As you can see, I have crafted a few new things between now and last stream. I realised I had the components to make several things, and so I did. We are... yes, this is a Let's Play of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, where we find floating plants. Where I progress through the game at a no stress, relaxed sort of pace. I talk about whatever comes to mind, including making snarky comments about the game, talking about story elements that have just happened, the references that might be present in the game, or where I think influences for decisions might have come from, and generally try and take it easy. So we are going to be heading into the Tywili coast from here, I think. Yes. South and east. So we have a few quests over there. In fact, Tywili is where I intended to go last time, but I went the wrong way. Got lost. Oh, hello. Haha, daggers. If I'd checked to see what they were and where they were positioned, I maybe could have dealt with that a little bit better, but I'm not too bothered, really. They weren't very difficult. That's a craddock. How's it going, Nobed? Would you give me a chance to attack? I tried to lunge past the incoming I don't know what attack that would be. Is it like corrupted fly breath or something? The buzzing green clouds. But either I misjudged how far away they were, or the game just assumes that you are physically moving through the space and not teleporting, and so you don't get to avoid physical attacks like that, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Wow. Right through the face. Of course, these are daggers rather than Fey blades, so they'll have different kill animations. These assholes move just enough that you can't really... Well, I mean, I did sneak up on that one, the first one, but this one was moving enough that I couldn't really get behind him. Wasn't there... No, wrong button. Wasn't there a puddle or pool or something? I mean, all of this is water. What I'm trying to say is the little ring of disturbed water. Ah, yeah, there we go. That I completely forgot about. Let's have all of that. What are these? Might, probably azurite then. So, a material behind the current best, which is silvernite. More Mergen, okay. And they're actually crouched down this time, so I probably could sneak up on them. Oh no, they're not Mergen. They're, Freeman. I'm not moving quietly enough, am I? For real stealth. Oh, and I'm still in stealth. Nice. That's even better. So I got 2 of them, which is more than I was expecting. I was expecting only to be able to manage the first one. But the fact that I stayed in stealth, it's not something that I remember happening from the last time I was using daggers. But it's very welcome. Polite of the wolf to wait until I was done dealing with the sprites before attacking. Minor healing potion. All the way over here. Okay. Nice. Not that I'm really using regeneration potions, but actually, okay, let's map to radial. That would have been awkward if I'd tried to heal myself with a potion and it hadn't been there. It hadn't been available. Okay, so there is something in the corner over there. Good. I was hoping there would be. What's bog staunch? Bottle full of a thick, pungent substance. Signs on the bottle mark it as property of the Alpha army. Is this some kind of monster lure that they used improperly and resulted in their quite resounding defeat? Oh, scuttle crab. They're also wearing steel plate. So.
Well, now.
Hello.
What's this here? A little soldier come wandering down the coast?
No.
Sure, I'm a soldier. We all are, or were more like, until we found better use for a sword and shield.
Ah, you're deserters.
You'd better get word to Mad Hast in the customs house. Him and his will want to know. They always do. Dandra theory.
I've got no idea what that just was. I have no memory of these people or what that might have been to do with. No. Right, we're going to find Lord Cross. He's up north a little way in Rathir. Just complete one. This is all. None of this is organised. I've got no idea. It wasn't these two. Oh, here we are. House of No Doors. Oops. The man who tricked Pledge Shield Feenan into forging the vault key revealed that he works for someone else. His employer seems to be someone named Hast, whom I can find inside or under the Rathir custom house. I will need a password, but Elbin Merok claims he didn't know it. While I follow this trail, Gwyn has been released and assigned to research the strange mages we have fought. I will meet her in Rathir when my task is done. Okay, right. That's what that was. The ancient vault was pillaged with a copied key supplied by Pledge Shield Feenan. She claims to have been tricked into believing she was secretly helping to end the Crystal War. She knows little of what happened to the copy, only that she gave it to an Elbin Merok. He can be found on the Tywili coast near the way to Akatha. While I'm on this task, Gwyn will be freed and assigned to research the mysterious mages. I will meet her in Rathir when my task is done. Okay, so I've done that. That's what that was. Oh. They have had a rather bad time, haven't they? It's highlighted. Oh, there we go. Inspect Kellerek's sword. An old sword of remarkable craftsmanship lies embedded in the stone. Examine the sword. An old sword of remarkable craftsmanship. Yeah, okay. An ice gem is clasped in the pommel, and frost webs the blade. The stone's grip is strong. It does not seem likely to let the sword go. Pulling out the sword probably has a might requirement, doesn't it? Hold on. The pommel looks a lot... Well, the design, the pommel and the crossguard design look a lot like Aragon's sword from Lord of the Rings. Now, the actual grip and the blade are different, obviously, but the sort of the shape there, it's very reminiscent. I am going to look up the name of this sword on the wiki, just so that I don't try something that then fails because I'm not high enough level and, like, I don't know, breaks the sword or something. So bear with me a moment. I don't know what level of might I can realistically or reliably have been expected to have acquired by this point, but it's probably more than I've got. Requires 42 might. Yes, okay. Removing the gem requires 3 in sage crafting and grants a gem of snow. Destroying the gem requires 3 in sage crafting. That's a great sword as well. So, given the fact that it requires 42 might, and my might is 26. No, that's not what I want. Abilities. Yeah, my might is 26. Some ways off. How have I managed to get level 8 of 6? Because I've got 2 items that boost level of might by 1 each, haven't I? That's right. Okay. So, I'm going to leave that. I don't know what happens if I attempt to pull the sword out without 42 might, but I'm betting that it's not going to fucking do anything at best, and it might break the sword at worst. So I'm going to leave that alone. The gem in it is called a gem of snow, and it oh, that's back the way I came. Okay, and it does 9 frost damage. So it might be worth remembering that it's there in case I want to add a gemstone to a weapon to do more damage, but I don't think that I care very much. I mean, it's only 9 I can probably make a better gem than that. And it is. And I'm collecting. I know I'm collecting legendary weapons, but it's. There's a pile of stones. It's a great sword, so I would never use it. So I'm personally happy with just leaving it where it is.
You look like you've been in some tight spots. There's a bounty out on a damn set of deserters. What do you say? A fact of life. There are cowards and lying rogues, and that's that. But when they up and run with things of value, that's another thing altogether.
If you want me to go and kill some deserters, I can manage that very easily.
Haven't you been? You can feel something in you begin to rot the moment you set foot over there. At least I did.
You were probably imagining things.
I did 5 years in Cluricon. Then I got this post back here, seeing fresh recruits trained and off to war. You're sure there are Tuatha here in Tywili? It has happened before. Maybe they'll meet some of my good-for-nothing runaways and give them a thrashing. Look at it. Scarred and singed as a blacksmith's hand. That is what you get from war. 5 full crew of fresh recruits had the gall to get fully equipped on our gold coin before they up and ran. The turntails, arms, and armor we can do without. But I'm afraid we also gave each crew a bottle of bog staunch. That's what I need recovered. Cure for a sickness that strikes some the moment they enter Cluricon. Devilish hard to make. We can't have fool deserters running off with any.
I have some here.
So you do, so you do. Find me all 5 bottles, and you've got your bounty. Those fools have run off down the coast, I imagine, hiding here and there. There are things in the air in Cluricon. It doesn't strike everyone, but some get awfully sick their first days there. Bog staunch gets them through it, so we pack a jug with every crew we send over there. They'll be up and down the Tywili coast, I think, hiding where they damn well can.
Interesting choice of voice. I've discovered Rathir. I can fast travel to it. Okay, and that's a way up into Galafor. And there's some deserters up there. Okay. Oops. How hard is that to open? Easy. Hurrah! Let's break them down for parts. Can I break these? Yes. Haha. Yeah, I don't want to run in there just at the moment because that will take me to Rathir proper, rather than just the outside and the outskirts.
10 years. This siege has gone on too long.
And I am not ready to venture there just yet because there is stuff like there's fighting to do in there. It's not just wandering around like Issa. And if I visit too soon, it will set the level too low before I'm done exploring around here. And I still have Detir to... oh, I can break them down as well. To visit as well.
What am I going to do?
I've got to be going, but I can't. And I can't go back to Dovearn, but I must.
Okay, why's that? Clythe?
I am the rightful heir to Dovearn. Or I was, at any rate. I've spent the last few years in lovely old Rathir, pretending like a fool nothing would change. It was my home. That was before I deeded it to the Althar army and went to Rathir with my pocket full of gold. It went 10 years untouched by the Tuatha foe. That's common knowledge. 10 years stuck in a cold stone prison was how I saw it.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like a hare hunted by hawks out here. The war, my friend. The war. I've been called. The truth is, I should have been gone days ago. Only I'd be far more eager for the adventure if I had my family arms with me. They're in there, Dovearn.
But you have a perfectly good pair of arms right here.
Ancestral staff and talisman. What any self-respecting Arn's worn to battle since time immemorial. If I hadn't left them somewhere in that damned tower, I'd be wearing them now.
Yeah, that was a bit of an oversight on your part, eh?
I'm not supposed to be here. I ought to have shipped out days ago. That's what I've been trying to say. I need, well, want to get my family arms and slip off before anyone knows I was here. Only how? You're serious, aren't you? Well, with any luck, the old staff and talisman are still in one piece back there, though I have my doubts. I'd pay just to know if they are or not. Thing is, Dovearn's an official army post now. To get in, you'll need an officer's pass.
And I could probably earn one of those, although it will probably be borrow, steal, or bribe someone.
By tradition, an Arn bears staff and talisman to battle. My brother bore them in Oriator's stand and died of his wounds 3 days after. Only I left them in Dovearn when I gave it to the army. Goodness only knows where they are, or what shape they're in now. Arn family history's riddled with this cursed war. My father and brothers have done so much for the cause, I shouldn't have to lift a finger.
That's not something I have anything to say about.
Well, you need to get into Dovearn. For that, you'll need an officer's pass. You might steal, borrow one, or get hold of a forgery. Mooncamp might be good for that. Hurry if you can.
To borrow
They might find me
one.
any moment.
Ooh. This seems like a good place for an ambush, doesn't it? And again, we are right next to... Well, okay, so first of all, on the one hand, we are right next to Rathir, so you would expect some level of... No, that's Lyria, I don't care about Lyria. Some level of, you know, security. But we have had enemies just come straight in right up next to other settlements. Okay, not admittedly not the main Polygon, not the main, I suppose, capital of the country. Although the place isn't really arranged like a capital. It's The place feels more like... Oh, and they've all got Freeman armbands. Huh. The place feels like it's a series of villages not really very closely tied to the city, so it's not even really a city-state. Although functionally it probably would be in-world. Like, there's no crown, there's not really much talk of government.
Will I watch the last of life flow from my land? Will I stand still as stone while the essence of its beauty drains away? No. Like Issa girding armor against Own, I, Mihari, will wrestle with the sinking sun, if that is what it takes to keep my land.
Do not go quiet into that good night. No. I wonder how little health he had left there. There was almost nothing left in... Well, there was nothing visible left in his health bar that I could see. And that's why I thought that he was done for, and didn't give him the last final stab before he managed to get a claw in on me.
I have rolled up the song within these lands, raked the life from the bones of the earth. I've left it shivering and stripped bare. I hold its dying magic in my arms.
This is Dolveyan. Dolve must be a term for castle. Wouldn't it be amusing if this is where the staff and talisman were? But no, clearly inside. And I can't get in without a pass, so I'm not even going to bother trying. Apparently I could steal a pass or get someone in the traveller camp. I think it's called Star Camp down here. Moon Camp, okay. And that actually, again, is an interior space, so I would have to run in. Band of deserters. That has spawned since I came through that way. Probably deal with the Banshee first, actually. Because the Banshee keeps vomiting up New Murgan, although it was launching them into the cliff where they couldn't land properly, so it was basically wasted. Oh yeah, there's a group of dudes out here that I need to kill. Oh right, that's the group that I killed on the way in. he's a member of the group that I killed on the way in. And he only appeared when the quest got given to me. But there isn't actually a way in to... Well, I could have gone across here and up, couldn't I? So 2 of the 3 ways into Tywili had a group of deserters just waiting. I suppose I could have crept past this group instead of killing them, but that's not me. I wonder if I can pickpocket these guys. No, talk to. No, okay. I expect none of them have anything I can pickpocket. That was studded leather, and I have no use for studded as I am on the next thing up. Oops. Oh, that will be the way down. Okay. Well, we're not going to bother with that. It seems there are no... Well, there were a couple of freemen, but no deserters. Just because they're deserters doesn't make them... Or just because they're freemen doesn't make them deserters. Stab. That was weird. Hold on a minute. This is a dead body. Wonder what happened to this group. Ah. Yeah, okay. Ooh, what are you? Ferox. We'll investigate that in a moment. Inventory. Weapons. Ferox. Ooh, that looks like something Nurgle would give one of his followers. Necromantic enchantments and a brutal ornamental style suggest this mysterious weapon comes from Adelia's Corthian age. So there was an age when the people in Adelia just decorated all their stuff like this, which is a bold choice. So physical piercing damage versus lightly wounded targets, chance to steal mana, and +1 to detect hidden. That's interesting. This is fleshy. It's glowing green. Yeah, this definitely looks like something. Apart from the fact that it's... Hi, welcome Digital Seahorse. I'm just examining this sword I picked up called Ferox. I got it from Lianxi, and it, to me, says... Nurgle, apart from the fact that there doesn't seem to be any corrosion on the metal of the blade. Like the fleshy part, these could be, well, they're probably not, but they could be boils. And just the kind of brutal hooked appearance. But we're not going to wield those, we're going to wield Solstice. Because chakrams are better. There's a hidden thing over here. It's hollow log. Order's coordinates, but those are azurite, which I have better than. Oh, hello, a Bolgan. Oh, pair of Bolgan. Who have seen me coming. Nuts. Stabbed in the body. So they can turn more quickly than I was expecting, but otherwise not particularly challenging. Oh dear. That this is obviously a camp of yes, Con. Oh dear. What do Noble's blades do? Extra health. Can't tell if that raid worked because it wasn't actually in this chat when I clicked the button. Did manage to finish the rest of Stacking Game. Cool. You did raid. That person's had a bad time, haven't they? Oh, hello. Oh, Tuatha. Who are way easier to kill than Bolt, which I suppose is probably makes sense when they're smaller. He can track targets quickly, can't he? So there's New Colne over here. Well, they travelled a long way, didn't they? They went through here, up here along the coast, and down here to get to New Colne. And there was a dude in Tyrann's Rest whose daughter came to somewhere along the Tywili coast, which is probably Colne, leading a group of other people to try and resettle the place. And I don't know, I mean, that's one body, but it's not identified, and if I were finding the body of the person I were asked to look for, the game would tell me. It would let me know that that was the body. Pengaris basement. I wonder why that's not indicated on the mini-map. Ah, here we are. Smashy, smashy.
Have mercy. Make it quick. Thank Mitharu. I thought I'd die here, the last of Colne's settlers, alone. She promised we'd rebuild Colne. Should have known that was impossible. Can't blame her. We chose to come here, hoping that war was far enough gone that we might rebuild. All around you, this was Colne. It might have been again, but now everyone is gone. Damn Tuatha.
Gone, do you mean dead or taken?
After 10 years spent wandering the plains, we thought we could rebuild our homes. How could we be so wrong?
Well, you weren't to know.
When we arrived, there was nothing here. Then, like a second dawn march, they were everywhere. Why do they hate us? They're not like the other Fae. It was after the Tuatha's first defeat in Erythal. They were scattered, but regrouped south of Tywili. Under cover of night, they marched north, and with the dawn attacked Rathir. General Telera's forces cut them off and drove them back into the sea. Nella and the foragers were out when the Tuatha came. It was a massacre until they returned and drove them off. She and the others set off for Verki, where Anella said they came from. If you've got any hope of finding her alive, you'll get there quickly. Anyone who could fight had left to forage. When the Tuatha finally came, there was no one to resist.
That sounds like it could have been planned.
Stronghold in southern Tywili, mostly destroyed during the war. Verki, head south through the narrow pass, then turn east. If you want to help her, you'd better go now.
Okay, so that's taking me down into the last of the areas here, I think. Yeah, Verki, there we go, okay. There's not really much else here, after all. So fair enough. Probably most of the area here is given over to Rathir, although there is the Blackened Hall here. Rithin? Oh, okay, there's more here than I thought. But yeah, like compared with the other areas, this is like half an area, half a zone. There is the Star or Moon Camp here. Rithin, which I don't have any memories of. And Rathir, which might count as its own zone, like an entirely separate. I think it might be big enough to count as its own zone. It's certainly, it's maybe the same size as Issa or a bit larger. Hello, chaps. What's going on here? Well, that didn't take me off the cliff. These three mages. Shit, stop that! What have they dug up here, eh? There we go. That was a bit more difficult than I was expecting. Three mages is difficult work. They dug up an old coffin. Although why, I have no idea. It may have been buried with gold? Oh no, here we are. Loot bedrolls. No. And there's nothing here either. So why would they dig up a coffin? Ooh. Corthian mallet. Renewing necklace. What does that do? Health regen. Well, I've got that, and 50 health, and +1 to might abilities, so I don't need you. Must be planning for a death or looting. Yeah, it seemed like looting rather than intending to bury someone. I mean, they didn't have a body there or like a prisoner or anything that I rescued. Like they didn't have anybody that they would have been preparing to bury. I think it seemed like
I will now tell you of those times as it was written of our forebears. They lived off the bounty of the sea and the grasses and fields, the newly met peoples, beasts and flowers. If I am a liar, there is no truth under Lyria. The temper of our tired family calmed before waves, and hidden among the rocks, the shadowed nooks of beach and shore, a secret to all but our ancestors, the arcane wielded by Lyria's chosen, a sanctified buttress, the grounds on which they practiced her magic arts.
I have a feeling that Lyria is another name for Turnok, who is the... who is not a good being. Spoilers for a game that came out in 2012, so 9 years old. Turnok is the final boss. She is a mad ancient dragon that is in control of... Well, that's a long drop, isn't it? The fates of everyone on Amalur, apart from your player character, who has been reborn. Oh yes, there was a... picked up an object, didn't I? So, Ferox is a product of Delia's Corthian age, and Corthian mallet is... Yeah, that looks like... it could be a cornate berserker. Well, maybe not a berserker. Well, okay, yeah, probably a berserker. A cornate hammer. These spikes have to be magical, or they would just snap off. But for a fantasy hammer, the fact that it has spikes is a really good thing, because what you're doing with a hammer like this, you've got loads and loads of mass, and what you actually want to do with that mass is apply it in small pointed areas so that it actually penetrates armor. Well, that wouldn't be penetrated, so it penetrates armor. The thing about flat faces on big hammers like this is just it would spread the force over a large area, and it would be percussive and unpleasant, and it would bang you around inside your armor, but it wouldn't actually defeat armor, which is what warhammers were designed for. Anyway, this great hammer belonged to the Butcher of Corthis, General Mardella Hest. It has been stained with the blood of countless Ragosh and Huranar. Okay, these are words that don't mean anything to me. I have not been introduced to... I mean, I've just been introduced to Corthis by Ferox. This might be the only place in the game that these words are used. I don't remember. I mean, on the other hand, it was a long time ago that I played the game, but I don't remember any other mention of... But then again, I didn't read every single book that I encountered either. I'll turn you into applesauce inside. Yes. Big, heavy hammers like this with flat faces. If you're wearing very, very heavy plate armor... well, not even necessarily heavy plate armor, but proper plate armor. It will protect you up to a point, and that point is when you get jangled around inside the armor so much that, like, your soft tissues are bouncing off the inside. And getting damaged. Of course, if you're not wearing heavy plate armor, if you're wearing leather or cloth, or you're basically unarmored, then getting hit by a big flat heavy object like this is a bad time anyway. But stuff like this evolved from the idea of using a hammer in war, a war hammer. But war hammers historically are pretty small objects. They're usually sort of about this length, maybe a little bit longer, and they're not that heavy. They're probably about the same weight as a sword, or a little heavier. A sword longer than that, so a hand and a half sword, a proper war sword of the period. But all of the mass is focused in a head, a hammer head, basically, which usually some swords are pretty heavy. Yes, swords depend on era and size, but generally speaking, swords don't get that heavy because otherwise you can't swing them. So a hammer head, a warhammer would generally not have two striking surfaces like this. It would have a striking surface and a pick on the back to just have one, sort of one striking, sort of piercing hook pick on the back, and the main hammerhead would have spikes on it and be a little bit like the molar tooth. And the purpose of the spikes is so that it actually binds on plate armor and stops the hammer head from skittering off, and actually applies the force. Because otherwise, like if it was a flat or rounded head, the thing about plate armor from 15th, 16th, maybe 17th century is that it was all designed to cause blows to slide off as much as possible. So you want a weapon to apply the force directly rather than bouncing off and glancing, and hence the spikes. Of course, if you hit someone who isn't armored with a spiked weapon, then of course that makes them have a terrible time. But the purpose of maces and warhammers is to defeat plate armor, and weapons like this evolved from the idea of a warhammer. It's just that they've become. I mean, this is beyond a sledgehammer, and you couldn't use a sledgehammer in a fight because it's too slow. It's way too massive and heavy. Your swing, even if if it doesn't connect, which it probably won't because you're swinging it quite slowly compared with something lighter, odds of actually hitting with a sledgehammer, a tool rather than a weapon, in a fight are low because people who can see you coming can avoid you, and then you've got to stop the weapon from swinging, you've got to slow its momentum, and then start trying to move it again in another direction, which gives your opponent time to get in, and even if they're not armed, and just hit you. So weapons like this are only possible if the person wielding them has a ludicrous quantity of super strength. There are a number of videos on YouTube which talk about fantasy weapons. Also, this would interfere with your ability to swing because of the way that levers work. If you're swinging this out away from your body in an arc, then this should be quite close to your body, moving. If this end is moving quickly, then because of the way that levers work, this is closer to the fulcrum, the point of rotation. It will be moving faster, and if it's got spikes on it, and it's right close to your body, and you're moving something with a lot of weight on the other end of that, basically lever, you're risking driving spikes like this into your side or your leg or, wherever. So this looks very scary and impressive, but it's actually a terribly designed weapon. Anyway, let's go back to these, which aren't better designed as weapons, but do function better if you are using them with magic, so that you're using magic to guide the grips back into your hands, rather than, catching the blade, which would be a bad time. You'd very quickly find yourself without fingers, I think, if you were trying to use chakrams. Without the benefit of magic to... Oh, hello. Control their flight. Trollhide leggings, I can break them down. Reviving ring. What do you do? Okay, health and mana regen, which isn't bad. Will I get a quest to come in here? If I do get a quest to come in here, anything that the quest requires me to find will be reset or applied by the quest. So it doesn't matter if I come in here and explore before I get a quest.
I discovered the greatest heights of magical power. I achieved everything and anything I desired, except to find one of them again. And inevitably, someone would remind me through their ugliness that somewhere, something as beautiful and perfect as that divine spirit existed. People will hurt you. People will try to use you. But this thing was different. Yes, I could trust it, and it would protect me from the callousness of others.
Sounds like she's become obsessed with something, probably a fae. Ah. This place is full of traps and dead bodies. Luckily, I can disarm traps. Yep. Disarm. Let's disarm that as well. I've got quite a bad turning circle, so I should probably disarm traps in a wide range so that I don't accidentally, damn it, accidentally set off a trap. That was quite a big chunk of my health, wasn't it? Okay. Wish I had a bit finer control over my movement. But oh well. I have no memory of this place. Gandalf in Moria. Getting Indiana Jones vibes, actually. From all the traps. There we go, that should do. Oh, wow. Okay, but they're not as close together here, so I just need to... Oh right, I just set off that trap. Okay. Oh. Do I need to... No. These are spike traps and that was a flame effect. Ouch. But not that painful compared with being set on fire from earlier. Probably could have avoided that if I was being careful. That set off two of them at once somehow. Wish it were easier to target the trap that I wanted. Managing, but like I wish it were easier to target specific things in this game, just in general, like targeting opponents, targeting things that you want to interact with. Oh, Christ. Well, and there's no wonder it's called the Blackened Hall, I suppose. What have we got in here? Niskaru. Oh, okay. And there's a hidden door. Yeah, that's just going to keep happening, I think. Unless I... So I'm triggering something, somehow, hence the fire, but because I'm disabling the traps, they're not actually... Like, it's labelled spike trap on the interact label, which... I think is it where it's in the bottom right, so my camera image might be covering that, but it's labeled spike trap. But it's not actually causing spikes to happen, it's causing fire to happen. Like, I could believe that these holes are flame vents, but then why not in the game name it a flame trap? I mean, yes, it looks the same as a spike trap, but that just means that it's got holes in the floor. I think that's all of them. That was a bit tedious, wasn't it? Burning presence of the Hall of Flames now seems diminished. They are likely safe to cross now. Oh, that was handy. Didn't actually need to... Can I creep up on these Niskaru? I think it depends on what their patrol route looks like. That out. Oh right, that's why. The wrong spell selected. That I had the heal one selected and I was trying to cast. What I wanted to do was lunge. An entry from the Journal of Pierce. Scribe to Lear, Lord of Blackened Hall, of the Blackened Hall. It was a glorious day. Lear took his new bride, Iphi, to hand and led her through the halls to their own chamber in the deep. The runes of the mystical Irathir were her eyes, and the echoes through the hall her laughter. Great is our new queen, Iphi. She seems to have endeared herself to us all, and such wonders she makes. Why, I saw her take the grand corridor and set it with enchanted flames, using only a wave of her hand. So, the people here, big fans of fire. If that wasn't already clear. Will these get triggered? I did turn off the fire with the tool outside. Yes, they're still going off. But deactivating them individually does stop them from getting you. Which is nice. Nuts. Ooh, nice. What are these? Finesse. Lunala's boots. Well, they're not as good. Well, I mean, these are might boots, so of course their armor is better, but... Oh, that's a lot of text. Their equip cost is lower, and they're part of a set, so the full effectiveness is not present immediately. Damage resistance, critical hit damage, melee block efficiency, ranged block efficiency, magic block efficiency, stun, chance to stun. Standing over the corpse of her now deceased husband, Alin, a Varani woman wept, tears upon the ground. Staring up at the full moon as it reached its zenith in the sky, Alin prayed to Lunala for strength in her darkest hour. For 24 hours until the moon reached its zenith, once again she prayed on as her husband's body was taken from the field. Once done, she turned to head back to town when a sparkle of light caught her attention. In the place of her fallen husband, she discovered this enchanted armor. Nice. This just adds health, doesn't it? And... oh, it is Trollhide, but it's not got as much armor, probably because... oh yes, I've got 2 gemstones, which... oh, well, no. 1 gemstone which adds 20% armor. Right, okay. It's probably worth breaking that down, actually, so I'll take it. Hidden door. Oh, I can hear the Niskaru behind the wall. A lot of stuff. Long sword of execution. That does extra damage against heavily wound. No, it's just extra critical chance, which would be worth breaking down the weapon for, I think. So let's do that. Spotted. Oh! I just have to hide slightly behind the door, and he forgets that I'm here. What an idiot. This patrol route is handy for oops, shit, finding me though. I hate random patrol routes like this. Huh. No, he's completely It played the animation and made the noises, but presumably because it had patrolled past me, it didn't actually land, which is fucking weird. Lightning resistance. Oh right, yes, if I'd been paying attention and reading, I'd have seen lightness, Nexus of Lightning Attenuation, so don't care about that. Until something. No, just guided. Okay. That was weird and unnecessary. Huh. Oh, come on! Definitely got close enough and hit the stab button at the right time. What do you do? Stormcaller. Poison damage and lightning. Like its creator, legendary Docklefar Arcsage Gwyn Olwyn, Stormcaller is sensitive to the unseen. Okay, let's see what Stormcaller looks like, shall we? Okay, that's pretty cool. Sort of thing you might see in World of Warcraft, actually, although maybe it's not quite chunky enough for World of Warcraft. And I also picked up some fancy boots. Okay, understated for the game. Nice. But we're gonna stick with plate boots, I think. Ah, inventory full. Don't have any consumables I want to get rid of. Well, I suppose I could get rid of these. No, I can't, because don't have the... Well, maybe I could add them to junk and then destroy them. Items. No, I'm just going to have to leave, sell things, and come back. Fun. At least the way out isn't blocked. He says, and finds some of the wall blocked. But that's not the way out, that's the way onward, so it's not a problem. No, wrong way. Tinder twig. Now then, where can I sell things? I think there was someone to sell things to up here actually. Let's do that. This takes you directly into the camp. Oh, I suppose I might as well hand in that quest as well, but before I do that... Ooh, it's this person. Hello.
Did you think the whole army was across the water in Chloricon? No, I'm afraid some of us are stuck here in Dol An and Rathir. Used to belong to House Arn, but that soft sot that inherited wanted nothing to do with it. His loss, the army's gain. The Freemen are a rogue group of our own soldiers who have grown disenfranchised by the war and decided it's easier to cause trouble at home than to keep the Tuatha at bay.
Yeah, deserters is not really what I would call for the Freemen. Other people have said that the Freemen are doing it out of necessity, but I wouldn't call deserting necessity.
I know they're as cooped up there as we are here, but someday that siege will lift. I want to be there when it does. No one's quite sure why Sully rebelled against us. A lot of the soldiers are feeling fatigued, though, after fighting for so long. That's why most join with Freemen. While it's true we Alpha lead, many humans proudly fill our ranks. All mortals unite against the damned Tuatha Fae.
Sell junk, buy a lockpick, and repair kit. Right, I'm keeping these things so I can either put them in my stash or break them down. So let's go and do that. Oh well, first talk to him, since I'm here.
What's this? All the bog stodge? I knew I could trust you. I'll take that, and here's your gold then.
Nice doing business with you. Oops, wrong button. Oh no, I want M, don't I? So, Canarok. Stash. Stormcaller, Ferox, Corthian Mallet, Lunalia's Boots, all Lunala's Boots. And then... find a forge at which I may break things down. Or or salvage them. That's okay. Silver Knight mitt, cool. What Silver Knight gloves I can make? Basic health regen, 80 mana, that's quite a lot. 45 of each. Robust. Gold drops, yes. Being let down by my lack of rivets. And of course, if I wanted to actually use a gemstone in these, then I would need to drink a potion of blacksmithing. But it's not vital that I do it right now. Perfectly happy with the gloves I've got on at the moment. Have all of these reactivated? No. Okay. But they're all turned off anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just... oh, no, wrong way. Weird that a section of this place is cut off. Who or what is controlling which parts of this are open and which are closed. Oops. Local map. Why am I being taken the long way round? I suppose, I mean, this place was referred to as a place that people lived, so the long way around would be the more defensive option. Maybe it's automatic. I swear my attack should have hit the one that attacked me and interrupted me. Oh, it's a pool. I thought it was a pit. I mean, I suppose technically the two things are similar, just one is with water and one without. Also looks as though there's something in the middle that's causing it to glow a bit. I hope the fact that a Niskaru fell in there won't pollute the water. That's wishful thinking, but... Oh yeah, that wall's closed off. Oh yeah, this is definitely defensive, isn't it? No living space that I've seen yet, though. Although, I mean, maybe it's just that it's so incredibly old that you can't really tell. Bloodthirst, that'll do... Chance to steal health? Yes. We can get some rivets out of that. What kind of Niskaro is ahead? Oh, more hunters. Okay, that's fine. Hello, chaps. My stab is faster than your stab. Masters Feyblades. What the masters? Oh, right, mana. Okay. Take. Like, which part of this is a living space? Where do you sit and eat? Where do you cook food? Where do you sleep? Where do you keep your things? Like, was this a library once? Was it a sitting room? And all of the furniture is completely gone? Was this a kitchen somehow? You would expect the countertops to still be in place, even if wooden furniture may have been destroyed by time. Because you particularly in pre-modern periods, countertops like sideboards, ovens would be made out of metal and stone, not out of wood. Especially if they're going to be very heavy wearing. Like, so this place had a queen and a king, a master. It was a royal hall. You would expect to have servants and constant use and heavy use. So you build stuff for places like that out of stone. Or at least you did. Amplified rivets, excellent. And Silver Knight gauntlets, I can break them down. What do amplified do again? Critical hit damage with physical, yes. Splendid, we'll take those. I wish I could have more. So, like... maybe everyone cooked with magic. Like, this is a place where people with fire magic lived. But still, you need a place to put the vessels in which you... like, because you don't... I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you cause ingredients to just float together and then cook them with heat magic. Maybe you don't need vessels to put meals into, like, ingredients into before you can cook meals. Or maybe, despite being kings and queens with servants and halls, they cooked around campfires. Journal of the Scribe, Pierce, Volume 3. There is little time left. A demon, a temptress, sent from the underworld of Amalur to tear down the great wonder Lear has built, a mortal target for the Niskaro to destroy. She is no human. She is no beauty. She is a liar. Lear is dead, and we are trapped within this place by maddening thorns and halls of flame. She hunts us one by one. I do not know why. She is a thing of rage. Some of the guards brought her down, but she simply rises from each death, flames burning brighter with anger. She cannot be killed. She will either hunt us to our deaths or leave us to wither. That turned around rather dramatically, didn't it? So we've read Volume 1, and that was Volume 3. Is this going to contain Volume 2? That would be handy. No. You would expect the second volume to be here, because we found the first and third and last. Is the mistress going to appear from somewhere? Is this a boss fight room? Is coming in here a quest for the travelers? And things will only appear here, or the final boss will only appear here. Maybe I just broke their ceramic stew pots. Maybe. By the way, welcome, Hawkman. Speaking of cooking, I think I'll make some noodles. Fair enough. I hope you enjoy your noodles. Digital Seahorse. Entirely possible. I'll look up the Blackened Hall, actually, because my suspicion is that this is a boss fight room. And if defeating her is a quest, then she'll only appear if you've got the quest. Factions, travelers, yeah, okay. Type cave. Quests, mirror, mirror, outside the box. Following NPCs can be found here. The Guardian and Grim Onwing. Okay, so you would have to have become a traveller and be willing to tolerate being near Grim Onwing. To get the quest to come in here. Neither of which are things that I want to do. So if you're playing through this because you have been, your interest has been piqued, then you can find out what happens in the Blackened Hall if you are a member of the Travelers, because I'm not going to. But yeah, maybe all of those pots that I've been breaking were individual... Well, but the thing is they're not designed for... Oops. Wrong way. The design, the shape of the pots that I was destroying, that are all here, they're tall. They're for storage. You don't cook and eat out of earthenware like that because it's not convenient. Like if you want to eat out of, serve out of a pot, an earthenware pot, and you can cook in earthenware, certainly, we used to. So what was the hidden door? Oh, it was just a small room. How close are we to it? Yeah, it was just a little alcove with a few things inside of it. I think there was a weapon. No, the weapon dropped off of a Niskaru. There wasn't much, and it wasn't very exciting, to be honest. But yeah, so the Blackened Hall is a place that you get the most out of if you're with the Travellers, and I can't be bothered being with the Travellers. So I don't get to find out what was in there. There was a quest marker. Oh, it's this. Experiment with the urns. That will just stay with me forever. So now I have a couple of quests down here. Verki and plant reagents, and there will be a quest to give someone in here a letter from a dude who was hanging out at his home over here, but I can't remember his name. Seems like a good place for an ambush, and indeed, here are some chaps who want to die quite desperately. And who am I to deny them? Tywili Coast is a lot more sandy than I remembered. It's got the feel of dunes, even though it's at the top of some cliffs, and you wouldn't expect to find dunes on the top of cliffs, but oh well. Yeah, I don't really care about breaking those down. I've got plenty of Silvernight ingredients. I'm probably not going to construct better daggers than these until I find Prismere. Hello, chaps.
The dumpling. Let's finish this.
Indeed, let us finish this. Oh, there's one more. Hello. Feeling left behind, were you?
Telling ends here. Enjoy the pain, mortal.
Indeed, your telling does. I wonder why there needs to be a jump off here. Like, it's not... Oh, okay, maybe it is. Oh, hello. Oh, they've got archers. I should have paid attention. Stop targeting the wrong people, you fuck. At least throw in the direction that the camera is facing. Turn and face the direction the camera is facing when I attack. Don't just fucking keep throwing off to the right or left. Yet more complaints about lack of targeting ability in this game.
A foulness unknown to Tyrion's tired pilgrims lumbered in the plains. Laboured grunts trumpeted the call of brutish Jotun, the giantkin of old, the hammer wielders. In the grievous march they trampled wood and tumbled stone. The fleshy weight of steps crushed the bones of warriors past. Kelleran's legion spread too thin. Beala's prayers went unanswered, and the fear of death came too easily with the heavy step of the hill dwellers.
I mean, unless there is some key that you can press to cause you to target an enemy, like lock on to an enemy, and that I've just entirely missed through both my previous playthrough and this, in which case fair enough. I will admit that I missed that, but I... Tab opens up the radial menu. I wish tab targeted and locked on, but tab does this. Pauses the game and lets you open up a radial menu of things you can use. You know there is a lock on, is there? Options. Lock menu map, quest markers, audio, resolution, graphics, controls. Controls. Toggle aggressive mode, usable items, pause, map, inventory, abilities, skills, quest log, quick save, quick load, shoulder camera, interact, dodge, block, no. In my version of the game there is no lock on. Wow, this place is really tumbled down, isn't it? Almost completely ruined. Moving in the wrong direction. Ooh. Fiery hammer. Heart of Ember. Let's see what you're like. Wow. That looks like the sort of thing you would get from looks like a weapon from WoW. It looks like Elemental Plane of Fire weapon. What the fuck was the place called? Ragnaros. Looks like the kind of hammer you get off of Ragnaros. This primitive weapon is the captured essence of the Obsidian Peaks. Its enchantments protects the wielder from the molten rock that forms the head of this great hammer. No, it's not Burning Legion. It's not green and purple enough for Burning Legion. This is the sort of thing you'd get from... it's not the elemental plane of fire, but it is the fire realm. It looks like the sort of thing you'd get during Cataclysm. Well, probably not off of Ragnaros himself, because his hammer looks different. It's pure metal. It's like it's made out of brass. But this is a very WoW weapon. This is a very elemental fire weapon. Well, obviously. But, like, you would expect to get it... I would expect to get something that looks like this. Don't know much about, but wow. Okay, fair enough. A Burning Legion... You are forgiven for thinking that a group called the Burning Legion would have weapons that look like this. That is entirely logical. Unfortunately, the Burning Legion are demons, and coded colour for demons in WoW is green. So it would be entirely reasonable for the Burning Legion to have a weapon that looked like this, except it was green instead of orange. And they do tend to reskin weapons. But this colour combination, I would say, Cataclysm, rather than a Burning Legion focused release like, or expansion like Burning Crusade or Legion, or Warlords of Draenor, End of Warlords of Draenor. What's going to happen around here? We're going to encounter a cutscene. Just her on her own. So the Burning Legion has green flames. Yes. Green flames are... it's mostly demons. Well, it's all demons. There was some quantity of purple, but purple in WoW is soul and shadow stuff. So while the Burning Legion demons, some of the Burning Legion demons could like soul drain you, it was not a primary color in Burning Legion colors. But green, bright, not like the sort of a teal green, not the yellowy green of the poison and Silver Knight effects here. So like the Silver Knight metal, that's yellowy sort of lime or almost lime green. It's too dark for lime, but and the poison effect on the hands, I would say, is a yellowy green, sort of a lime green. Flames for the Burning Legion in WoW are a little bit more blue.
Die, Tuatha!
Oh, she's dealt with a lot of them, hasn't she? Hi chaps, how's it going? Okay, she's not dying in a cutscene, so she can't... Well, hopefully she can't die. Oi, pay attention to me.
I appreciate the help, but my work here isn't done. Unless you're going deeper into Verki, I'll take my leave.
I am.
What did my father say of me? I can look after myself, though I'm grateful for your help all the same.
He said he was worried about you, and he seems to have been right to. I mean, you've definitely dealt with a lot of Tuatha here, but you can be overwhelmed.
I should have sent word, but I wanted to give him good news from Colm. Tell him things had gotten better. But they never did. And it's my fault that the refugees were lost.
Apparently it is possible to get a tier 7 PvP egg. Oops, wrong chat. Okay, fair enough. What chat was the appropriate chat? You have piqued my curiosity, Mahawkman. Different game. Okay. I assume T7 means tier 7. Is this an egg throwing game? Is this Angry Birds? Where they've got PvP and tiered gear.
After 10 10 years, we thought we could rebuild. I led them here, and here they died. The idea was mine, as is the blame.
Something called Monster Legends. Sounds fun. That sounds vaguely familiar.
Those of us who could defend ourselves went out to find supplies. The rest stayed and helped in ruins. Tuatha picked us off, one by one. We were out looking for supplies. Came home to find Tuatha attacking the village. All those people dead at the hands of those monsters. We drove off the first group, but they just kept coming. The survivors scattered. I left to find where the Tuatha had come from.
Ah, Monster Legends is a mobile game. Fair enough. That's where I know the name from.
Most of this place fell in the war, but it appears the lower levels were mostly unharmed. Lucky for us. I'm not going back until the work is done. You'll just have to help. They're coming in through the water gates in the depths of this place. They must have found them. That's their way in. We see Tuatha crawling out of here every time we pass. As for the gates, I remember them from when I was a child, before the Tuatha came. Unexpected, but thank you. With you here, we just might make it. Let's go.
Of course we will. We will crush the Tuatha.
At the bottom, of course. They were used to let boats in. You can be sure we'll find more Tuatha along the way. Are we going?
So will we just close the gates? And they won't be able to get boats in anymore? Master's Medallion. Master is mana. 60 mana, there we go. This heavy golden pendant hums with magical power. Yes, add to junk. It's not quite as good as... Yes, put the archer in front, behind the great swordsman. That's clever. In front of the great swordsman. Why did I say behind? With the great swordsman behind. Yes, that's what I meant. Why is this closed? Ah, it's locked. Oh, I'll be able to open it later. Assuming I come back through this way, which I probably will. Waste your precious time against an enemy pumping your arm in the air. Don't start attacking immediately. You've got to increase your morale first. Really important, that.
More of them!
Ow! Stop that. Nice. Master's Fey Blades. They'll have a component that gives you 60 mana, so let's take them and break them down later. Hopefully we'll get big mana boost component. Guess who? You're doomed. Ooh. Ah, okay, so each of these are gates that I need to close, or we need to close, I suppose. Oh, that might actually be the exit. Yeah, Tywili Coast exit. Okay. So, unusual amongst many indoor locations, there is another exit. I think it's stab time.
The gate lever! There!
Get behind. Attack. Spin them round, attack from the front. Yep. Dead good that. Oh, wrong button. There we go. What did I close though? Something down there. Can I open it again to check? Was it that gate? Probably. Okay. I was expecting to find like underground shipyards or something, or docks. Wait, is this? It has a unique animation that only plays when you sneak attack an enemy leaning onto the wall. No, that it has a variety of sneak attacks. One of which is that. Oop, there was someone behind us, facing this way.
The gate lever! There!
Stop shouting! You're gonna give us away. Something I apparently hadn't noticed or had forgotten. Using daggers. Okay, yeah, it closes that. Cool. Using daggers doesn't break stealth, which is nice. Fey blades do. Oh. Expecting to find us, didn't look down the corridor under the torch. These guys are terrible guards. I had pickpocket. I guess I wasn't close enough to being behind him. Didn't notice the person with flaming daggers on the belt. Nope. Or the glowing shield. I'm not worthy of notice, apparently. Master's damaging shaft. Oh, that's a suggestive name, isn't it? Don't shout about the lever this time, would you, please?
There's the lever to the gate. Throw it.
Thanks for the backup. Wasn't needed. Maybe I should have pickpocketed him before I killed him, because the body didn't drop anything.
They can't get in this way anymore. Let's go. It's finished. Return with me. If I know my father, he'll want to thank you in person.
She's in boiled leather gear. I wouldn't have recommended that. Maybe choose better gear next time. I am going to go back to that locked door, because if we don't fully clear them out, because technically what could in universe happen is the Tuatha who are in further back in here behind the locked door could just come out and throw the levers again and let Tuatha back in. So I need to pick this. Oh, there's a fair Gorta. Okay. Well, still. Oh yeah, so basically, these are basically the same. Well, okay. These are basically the same pot design as we found in the Arathi ruins. And ooh, returns with Gelfric tuna Alfredo. Nice.
I won't let them back on our land.
Cool. I wasn't asking you to. So these are the pots, the same design of pots that we were finding in the Blackened Hall, and these are perfectly acceptable as storage pots, but not a helpful design for... There's even stuff in there. Not a helpful design if you're trying to serve or cook food in and serve food from these pots. They look like amphora. Well, the taller ones are shaped basically like amphora, although amphora have a point on the bottom. I'm not quite sure how amphora was supposed to be stored, but it wasn't flat on the ground. Oh, there's loads of old books in here. Ooh, lucky. Oh, greater healing potion. It's worth a few gold. No, what are you doing? This way. Or over here. Sometimes that doesn't work, trusting the chakrams to come back and hit your mid-swing opponent before they land their hit. And sometimes it does, and this time I was lucky. That's a big altar. A relic. Though I am playing a game that includes tapered bases in that grouping, despite there not being a pointy bottom. Oh, right, okay. Yep, amphora have a point and two handles near the rim, though I'm playing a game that includes tapered base in that grouping, despite there not being a pointed bottom. Yeah, I'm not an expert on ancient earthenware. Definitely don't look to me for expert advice, like genuine, like, well, reasonable, sort of, I guess, surface level knowledge. I know some things about a lot of subjects. Oops. Teleport directly in front of me. Thanks, very helpful. Oh, she was just about to say something. Huh. Cool. Oh no, that's not the right way. Not the way I want to go. I want to go back in this way. That's a tall castle silhouetted against the sky there, isn't it? I didn't kill these guys. I wonder who did. I wonder what these are the remains of. Defensive emplacements? But that doesn't look like human or alpha. Are these Tuatha defensive emplacements? Well, but those aren't prisoner spears.
It was then that Issa brought forth the talisman of fate and entered the marsh. This craven arena, a place of life and death. The winds carried the songs of the dying. The mire sucked the bones of armies below the sea loam. And the mist shielded the eyes of your ancestors from the horror as the two armies clashed.
Am I looking out over this strait at Melsin Shear over there? Because that's definitely not Rathir, it's the wrong shape, and Rathir would be over this way. Because they keep referring to Melsin Shear as being over the sea, but this is not a sea. You could bridge that, well, with modern technology, or magic. You could build a bridge across here. Is it any wonder they have been finding ways to get across? Maybe Jotun? Oh yeah, they could be Jotun spikes, couldn't they? And yeah, that probably is Melsin Shear. The map indicates that it's a narrow strait, but every NPC that I talk to indicates that it's, well, it makes it feel like it's a long way away. Oh, they've got a mage. Was this a deserter or a patrol? Well, either way, they've been probably killed by Tuatha. Oh, another floating eel petal. Very magical plant, the eel petal. It's a few miles, but there's probably nothing but water between the gap. 10 miles is in nautical terms narrow, but too far for most boats. Fair enough. Looking at a wiki just now, and some of them do have a base to stand on, both designed primarily for carrying marine contents like water or wines. Ah, okay. Most of the amphora I'm familiar with seeing have pointed bases, but that could just have been the most popular and most numerous from a relatively narrow period of time. Just because the most you see of an artifact, just because an artifact is numerous in terms of design doesn't mean that it was over time the most common, just that it was from a particular period in time. I think the really big ones have flat bases because it's too heavy. Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't feel like going and looking up amphora on stream. That doesn't seem like interesting viewing, but oh hey, who is that? That's not Tuatha, is it? Whoever it is completely uninterested in me. Not quite close enough to be interesting. There isn't any other way in. Oh, it's Kandrian guard. That's why he wasn't interested in attacking me. Kandrian guard manning this small gate, completely ignoring the Freeman assassin. Hanging out here. Some amphora were only a gallon jug and were hung from ropes. Ah, okay. I remember the girl in the Jungle Book carrying water in something like that too. I wouldn't expect to see much commonality between ancient Greek earthenware design and well, I'm not contemporary, but Indian earthenware design. I mean, so Jungle Book is a bit of an oddity. You can't form follows function. Yeah, mostly. But cultures had a tendency to come up with their own take, and there are ways of discerning which culture a piece of earthenware or any designed object comes from without finding it in a specific location. But the Jungle Book is... So it was written in the 19th century by a British writer.
We keep this area clear of bandits and the cursed Tuatha.
But don't bury them, obviously. Wow, you're no good at guarding, are you? But the Jungle Book could be set almost any time before it was written, I think. I've never actually read the Jungle Book. Ooh, let's keep them to break down. So I don't know details, not for sure, but I don't think there are any identifying details in the Jungle Book which would date when it's supposed to happen. Another country would probably call it another thing. Writer may not know that the girls in that what the girls in that place used IRL. No, probably not. I mean, Rudyard Kipling, I don't know much about the guy, to be honest. I don't know how racist he was. I have to assume, given the period, he was at least somewhat racist. Ugh. Dog's seen me. Well, wolf. Little shit. It's got some things. If I recall correctly, Mr. Kipling had visited the region and was inspired to write by seeing the country. Yeah, he'd visited. He maybe as part of the military, I think. What's attacking me? Oh, these guys. Stupid wolf. Prevent me from sneak attacking this. Oh, and kobolds now as well. When an opponent will see you and when they won't, it seems a bit arbitrary in the game. Especially considering I was sneaking at the time, which should have lowered my observability. But oh well. I don't know much about Rudyard Kipling's history or the history of the Jungle Book. I just know that there's more stories in, like, the Jungle Book is more like a collection of short stories than one single story. Like, what people think of as the Jungle Book from the films is one, like, a collection of stories. And there's more of it than is shown in the Jungle Book. Also, Car the Python is one of Mowgli's teachers. He's not a villain in the books. And indeed, I think, is a she. But that might just be me being confused by the fact that Scarlett Johansson was cast to voice Car in one of the recent Jungle Book adaptations. I think it auto-fails if you are directly in front. It wasn't written as a whole, he wrote it a piece at a time. Yeah, it was a series of short stories. You can be in front of enemies and they will lose sight of you if you're far enough away. And like, if you're in stealth, the eye will slowly fill up, or will not immediately fill up. Oh, I should have pickpocketed them first. Oh well. Oh, there's wolves moving around here. I think it's got to do with the erratic patrol pattern of the wolves. Greater Enchanted Binding, nice. Book was published in 1894, so if you went there it would have been about the same experiences as what happened in The Wilds of Africa, which is an old book full of slurs that I found at a valley village. Good book aside from the terms. Fair enough. Yeah, so it was during the height of Britain's colonialism and imperialism, so I would expect him, certainly from the context of the time of his visit. Wow, that guard just does not give a shit about this Freeman, does he? Should I pickpocket him first? Oh, Freeman armband. Oh well. Why can't I stab him? Oh, there we go. That was a bit weird. The Disney version, it's telling that Mowgli is never afraid of Car. Well, in the Disney, the Disney animated version, Ka is a joke villain. He's not threatening at all. And they were saying, unimaginable how humans can do this to another fellow human. I'd say that Kipling was one of those who respected the locals based on how he wrote about them. Well, yeah, probably. But given the period, I think there's a limit to how much we can really expect of him. But I'd have to read the books, or read the books and read some critical analysis of as well, preferably, to get a good idea. Hurrah, leveled up. But I think it's reasonable to say that he was good for the time, and considering his background and the fact that he visited during basically the height of Britain's imperialism. But I don't know how much we can expect of him beyond that. I mean, I do want to keep all of these up, like, even, but putting a point into blacksmithing would mean that I would no longer need to use a potion to break down weapons. So let's do that, just so that we don't have to bother with potions anymore. I don't know how often I'm stunning enemies, to be honest. Sure. Let's summon Fairgorcher, even though I probably won't really need them that much. It's a pet, so that'll be a bit of extra damage, and at least drawing attacks from enemies, maybe. So worthwhile in that, if nothing else. Attacking an opponent who is armed with a spear whilst you're armed with daggers shouldn't really work. And yet here, it does. Like, if your skill level is vastly different to your opponent and you're armed with daggers and they've got a spear, you could probably manage. Especially if you're quicker. But you kind of expect these guys to be... Oh, well, maybe they're not spears. Maybe the closest would be a glaive. They're not really long enough to be spears. But still, they're weapons with reach. Whereas daggers are definitely not. But you would still expect them to... I mean, these are weapons that they carry every day, presumably use extremely frequently, if not every day. You would expect kobolds to be better with their weapons than that. You shouldn't expect them to be that easy to close in on. Is there an animation for killing wolves by stealth? Kind of. Just ice pick grip, stab down. Yeah, the boneheads are more useful to distract enemies than anything else. Yeah, I thought they'd be tanking tools more than anything else. Have I already discovered this area? Oh, you've already seen me. Oh well. I think I'd need to spend a lot of points in sorcery to get Fairgauter up to the point where they're super useful. Like, what is it? No, that's not O. Abilities. I'd probably want all of these maxed out. Ability: use magic to rapidly construct a Fairgauter who will fight by your side. Summon lasts for 120 seconds, 2 minutes. Costs 50 mana. Summoned Fairgauter has 10% health and total damage, so that would probably... it's one of 6, so 10... 6, 50... plus 50% health and damage at max level, and lasting, well, maybe lasting for longer, but maybe not. And then this summoned Fairgauter's attacks have a chance to siphon health from enemies and send it to you. 25% chance, 0 of 5. So I don't know. That's probably going up in 5s, but maybe 10s. 10% chance. 10% chance increases, and then your summoned Fairgauter swings for more hits in its attack chain and gains a chance to critical hit. Plus 7% chance to critical hit. Summon chain attack has 3 hits. Okay. So that would make this and this would make Fairgauter like capable of dealing better damage. But I don't know whether that's compared to what you'd be doing as a sorcery user. So is this the prison? I expect it probably is. Let's talk to this guy, find out.
If you're looking for work, you could try the inn. Might be a visitor needs a job done.
Oh, no. Okay.
From the dark of north he came, sword alight with frosted blood, to starkly carve a kingdom from a land of stone and flood. A hero true, a warrior born, his deeds the bards did daily sing. Exultingly, they crowned him king.
Now then, will I be able to avoid killing this chicken? That was close. Ah, nuts. Dead chicken.
Hail, Wanderer. The Raven's the best inn this side of Rathir.
Opening this would be stealing. Blacksmithing components. Okay, wild. Salvage. Conqueror's chakrams. Greater Illuminator's handle. Nice. Master's Feyblades. Is it worth save scumming to try and get the mana component out of that? I think it might be. Oops, no. Save. There we go. Salvage. Hurrah! First try. Dang it. Weak rivets. I don't want weak rivets, I want better rivets. Bloodseeker's Fulcrum, nice. Master Sage Grips, nice. Okay. I don't think I care about any of the rest of those things. And since I... Well, no, I'll keep it. There are higher levels of blacksmithing. We have a quest to give a guy in here a letter. Interesting, there isn't usually a door over there, or a room, in the layout of taverns. Is that a Barghest head?
Greetings.
Ah, they actually have the correct number of musicians for this song. Hello, chap.
You're not from around here, are you?
Nope.
I am Eli Thames, and I could use your help with a delicate task.
Painting of Didenhill. I didn't notice. I'll go and look for it when I'm done talking to this guy.
Why, I am but a humble agent of change, endeavoring to be in the right place at the right time.
Calling yourself an agent of change is somewhat suspicious.
Inre Kandrian became lord just before the Crystal War began. When the Tuatha invaded, he retreated to his keep and refused to come out. Left all Kandrian to die just to save himself and his precious family name.
Sounds like a knob.
I'd heard it was a quiet town, but now I hear whispers of people mysteriously disappearing during the night. I haven't left the inn since I arrived.
Yeah, people disappearing in the night is quite suspicious.
Rathir is the great city of the Dokkalfar. up the coast a ways. It's old and beautiful, but don't hold a candle to Odessa if you ask me.
I didn't, and I'm not surprised you say that.
Lord Kandrian wears a large ceremonial signet ring. He removes it only to sleep. I need you to go to Kandrian Keep and steal it.
Why?
Ever since Indre Kandrian became Lord, the Kandrian Guard have not left the area around his keep. The Tuatha are raiding the Kandrian coast, entirely unchecked, and this gravely worries the citizens of Rathir. We wish to inspire Lord Kandrian to leave his keep and drive the Tuatha back into the sea, and the ring is the first step.
Fair enough.
Excellent. I'm told that Lord Kandrian keeps it in his bedroom in Kandrian Keep. Obtain the ring and return to me for another task.
I wonder whether I could pickpocket it from him.
Kandrian was once the safest region in all of Erythel. No one dared to challenge the Kandrian Guard. Now, with the Tuatha raiding up and down the coast, the Guard do nothing but protect Lord Kandrian as he cowers in his keep.
The barkeep is just picking up the same tankard. Oh no, he's put it under the desk. Maybe that's the same tankard. We don't know. Just puts it down. Rubs it. Puts it down. Picks it up, rubs it. Puts it down. There we go. That cloth is more like a loaf of bread. It's solid. He's rubbing the counter, and then he'll pick up the tankard, the same tankard, and rub it and put it down again. Oh no, he'll put it away. Okay. And pick out an identical, perhaps the same tankard. We don't know. Okay, needs more cleaning. Oh, still missed a bit. Don't know why I put it down. Oh, there's another bit there. I haven't evenly spread the grime around this tankard.
The keep is in the southeast corner of Kandrian. Supposed to be impenetrable when it's sealed, but I've heard rumors that one could sneak inside through a cavern below it. Lord Kandrian keeps the ring in his bedroom in Kandrian Keep.
Okay.
Another time, then.
Nice. I vaguely recognise that. It's somewhere near here, isn't it? Oh yeah, there we go. There's Dyden Hill. That's probably the... Is it the Cursed Plains? Near to the entrance of the Cradle of Summer?
Greetings!
Wow, that's a lot of dudes. There's Rathir. Ah yeah, Dyden Hill again. Nice.
Hail, Wanderer.
Hail, Stayerer.
Greetings.
What'll it be? Mel Aglear'd be nothing but a cinder too if we weren't a quick march from Lord Kandrian's keep. I suppose his lordship could live with letting his people die, but not if he could hear them screaming while it happened.
Well, he sounds like a shit, doesn't he?
Been running the inn here in Mel Aglear all my life. My father was proprietor before me and his father before him.
Quite a lineage of barkeeps.
Used to be we could count on travellers passing through here every week, but now we're lucky to have any visitors at all. We have the finest accommodations in Erythel. Would you like to rent a room?
No thanks, I'm good.
Very well. We will always have room if you change your mind. Is that so? Let's take a look. That bastard! He murders my dear sister Jera in cold blood, then waits 30 years and thinks a note will make everything right. You tell Durfel that if I ever see him again, I'm going to gut him.
Yeah.
Good day.
Fair enough. I didn't. He said kidnapped. He didn't say killed. Durfel kept some pretty important information from me there. Wonder what. Are we going to have words when I get back and see him? Wonder what his explanation could possibly be. Oh no! I just helped her escape. She's in hiding. Is the only possible explanation that I would accept. Oh, it's the stockade. Okay, right. Thought so. And Kandrian's castle's over here, but I think Anorak's not that close. It might be somewhere else. I thought Anorak might be the place below that you can sneak in by, but it seems like an awful stretch if you've got to traverse this distance. Especially because in the game it seems like they much like in WoW, they have the suggestion of space, but condense the region down a lot so that you can travel it in a reasonable time frame. I mean, personally, I could stand the game to be a bit bigger in terms of physical space. Yes, run closer. I'm sure that'll help. I wonder how many armbands I've got now. It's quite a lot. 39. And one stolen, so 40. It's stolen from a freeman who I pickpocketed it from. That means it is a naughtily acquired armband as opposed to the ones that I take from their corpses. Just noticed there's a small stacking doll with a teddy, that and Mr. Ruffles, and the description in the doll collection is Thad. Mr. Ruffles doesn't like you reading about Thad. But also, I mean, it's amusing, but also slightly worrying, because it suggests that Mr. Ruffles is capable of observing you outside of the game. What I find puzzling is how NPCs know if it's stolen or not. Yeah, that is weird. Most of the descriptions aren't that funny. Well, I'm glad that there's an Easter egg in there for you. Yeah, it's like there can't possibly be any kind of aura of stolenness on the items that you've stolen, can there? And your character can't possibly be stupid enough to let them know. Oh yes, by the way, trying to sell this, but I stole it. Now, before you sell me this, you have to tell me if you stole it or not. Scout's honor. Okay, kick rocks. Just kick the toad. Oh, okay, yeah, I stole it.
The Lord of Tides, the thrice-crowned king, the banded prince of Melaglir. He forged from blood a sword of sin to cut and rend and sear. From hardened hearts his people wept, tears to flood from stone unbroken, the long-forgotten truth unspoken.
I wonder how far up this river I can get. Ooh, there was a thing. Ooh. Silver chakrams. And gold. Oh, not far. That's disappointing. I was hoping I'd be able to run, or swim. Not run. You don't run in water, do you? I was hoping I'd be able to swim up the whole length of the water course, but no. Reminds me of how when I was drawing a children's book with a teddy in it, I'd make the eyes follow the owner around as though it was sentient. One of the perks in skills is to be able to sell stolen stuff as if it wasn't stolen. Oh yeah. Oh no, the wrong one. Oh. Stealth? No, mercantile. You can now sell stolen items at any merchant. So you have to put 10 points into mercantile before it occurs to you that you should lie about the origin of the items that you've acquired. Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't seem to be doing much to the flow of the river, though. Nuts. Reviving necklace will do health and mana regen. Yeah, no, I don't care. Do eat. That's one of my favorite doors. This door. Kandrian Cove. Is that like lying about how many years you've been in jail and actually getting out by doing that? You would think that they'd keep records. Kandrian Gatekeeper. I mean, sure, let's find out what happens when we come in through here. I think this is the place that the gnome mentioned we could get in through. Quite beautiful, isn't it? Crude Silvernight chakrams. I've got plenty of chakram discs, Silvernight discs. I don't think I need more. Chest. What does this do? Critical hit, chance to critical hit damage. Nice. Let's break that down. For parts. So one of those will probably come from the hilt, but despite the fact that greatsword hilts and dagger hilts are vastly different in size and design, if you have a hilt component from anything, you can put it on whatever bladed weapon you like, whether it be a great sword or a long sword or a pair of daggers, somehow splitting the hilt in two to apply to the daggers. What have we got down here? Kobolds, okay. Kobolds with absolutely no curiosity in them about what the sound of breaking wood was from. The basement of Kandrian Keep. So I see. Can I get over to him before he notices me? Probably not. Right through the jaw. That shouldn't have worked. Oh, Dad. He's facing this way. They're kind of facing one another. I don't think I can get close enough to one of them to get him before the other will see. Right, never mind. Pile of stones. Pile of rocks, sorry. Need to get that right. Glad there's no traps. I can't sneak up on him, he's facing this way. Luckily, he charges. Be good if you could acquire an outfit of peasant clothing and just walk around up here pretending that you're supposed to be there, like that you're a servant. It'd be nice if the game allowed you to do that. I don't think that it will. Marauders' daggers. What do marauders do? Versus beast constructs. I don't think I care about that. Ooh. It's clear they don't use this much, does it? Isn't it? I just noticed as I was destroying one of the pots over here that the light was clear enough that I could see that it had colour on the outside of the Ooh, Kandrian Cove, okay. 2 Kandrian guards, all, well, 2 of them facing directly into pillars or, you know, physical objects in the map. You can wear peasant clothes, but I don't think it gives any benefit to anything. No, I don't. That's what I was thinking. Like, there are outfits in the game that are peasant clothes. And it would be really nice if you could put them on and disguise yourself. But I don't think that that's a thing that the game lets you do at all. Ah, crypt. And this is a well-kept one. I wonder what it is about this design that indicates that it's... Is it Kandrian? Damn it, what's his name? Kandrian. I was almost there. Like, is this... I mean, it's repeated the entire way around the room, so if it's purely decorational, you'd think that they'd vary the design. So I have to assume that this is to indicate that this is the Kandrians. Oh yeah, there we go. Purple and white. And gold. Patterning. Like maybe there's 2 different versions of the design? Oh, there is. There we go. The old version and the new version. Painted and in active use. Containing gold for some reason. What's down here? Oh, probably more crypt. Oh well, we'll just nick his stuff, I guess. Ah, nuts. Ooh. One of these places in good nick is very interesting to visit and see. Wonder why there's a section of wall to keep you away from the main wall, but just to stop people from rubbing against the wall or something, I guess. The main wall, not the small wall. The small wall is here that you can rub against, so you don't rub against the main wall. Ooh, chest. And getting stuff out of it would be stealing. I don't like doing that. Wonder if these are the graves of former Kandrian kings. Well, I don't know that they refer to themselves as kings, but yes, these are... Oh, this is the vault. Past the crypt. What does he have in this pile? Gold nuggets and gold. Oh, doing that causes the pile to collapse, so it is no longer... Well, I'll take the gold coins, but not the nugget, because the coins will just go in my purse. But the gold nuggets will actually indicate that they are stolen, and I'd have to wait until I got maxed out. I won't steal, but I'm curious about what's in here. Prismare lockpick, cloudy fire shard. You'd think brick would be enough to prevent people rubbing, or stucco would work too. Yeah. Oh, I just picked rubbing as a funny idea. I don't think people are genuinely rubbing against the walls, but... See, these are not things I would sell, and they are useful. And even though I did say that I wouldn't steal them, I think I will. You do not have any space left in my inventory! Ugh. Just leave the skeletons out. What, to decompose before you put them in a tomb? Or are they not people who are important enough to be in sarcophagi? Can I drop things? No, I can destroy things. Certain merchants buy stolen stuff, like the Sun and Star camps. Oh, okay. I can't drop things. I can destroy things, and one of my abilities... Is it mercantile? Yeah, so this milestone means I recover 15% of an item's gold value if I destroy it, and this 30%. But I want to sell rather than just destroy. So that's what I'm going to do. Luckily, it's not that far to get out. Oops. Ankle-high rock in the way, stopping me from getting past.
Hail, wanderer.
Hail, wanderer.
Hello.
Hello. What may Durant Alagus do for you?
Give me gold in exchange for items.
Trading goods in Melaglir is just a necessity for me. I've always wanted to travel and study the esoteric elements of alchemy. But alas, where can one find time for such pursuits?
There is a form of crypt where the bodies just get piled on tables to rot. Oh, fair enough. People who died while mourning, I suppose. Could be. If I recall correctly, you can actually walk out the front door. Ah, I thought I had to remain stealthed the whole time. The catacombs where they just put heads all over the walls and eventually it all covered in skulls. Those? Nah. The Wall of Skulls was built by people cleaning the catacombs. Yeah, the stacks of skulls and bones in catacombs, like the catacombs under Paris, for example, is... those are exhumed... So bodies now will stay buried only for a certain period of time in graves, in cemeteries, because burial positions are at a premium. Instead of paying for a burial and just that's the plot of land, the small section of land that your ancestors or the person that you're burying's bones stay in permanently, you basically rent the space for some decades, or certainly in the most popular of graveyards, and like the one in Paris. And after that period of time has elapsed, and assuming that it hasn't been renewed, they exhume the bones and stack them up in the catacombs. So when you see bone houses, like the catacombs, like the ones I've been talking about, stacked, absolutely lined with bones, skulls all stacked on top of one another, femurs all stacked on top of one another, all of that. That is, they are efficiently storing bones that had been buried in the ground at that cemetery, but have since been moved so to make space for new burials. Yeah, but I had just had a thought of what if they made it from just people who were recently decapitated. Creepier thought. Yeah.
This land is
that
old,
is
my
a creepy
friend.
thought.
Old indeed. Used to be that the lords of the Alfar ruled over much of the Earthel from the keep to the east of here. But time brings change, I suppose. Now it's just the keep and this village. Melaglir was never a particularly bustling town. But with the recent disappearances and the Tuatha raiders nearby, few visitors come here anymore. It makes me sad.
Sell junk. Ooh, platinum talisman. Interesting. He's got Prisma chakrams. That's worth buying. Because Prisma is the top of the pile. You don't get better than Prisma. Oh well, let's sell these. I've already got components that, well, I could break that down. Why have you got chickens in cages?
Hail, wanderer.
Weak rivets. I don't want weak rivets. Now, what will I get? Master sharpening hilt. What else can I get? Probably bindings. Basic grip. Nuts. Would have been better to stick with the grip of the hilts. Alright. Master sharpening hilt. That'll do. I don't really care about getting the blade. The hilt's good enough. I think after the stream I'm going to come back and buy those two glaives. Oh, I didn't discover the location. Okay. Oh, that would be the wrong way. Alright, since I can leave through the front door, presumably I can enter through the front door And the guard won't care. No, I can't be bothered spending the time to kill them. I'm surprised there isn't a quest to discover the story behind the disappearances. Unless that's part of the quest chain of stealing the ring. Hi guys, how's it going? Definitely not here to steal anything. You don't need to worry about that. Ooh, is this a garden? No. But it has got some trees out in it. Big courtyard. Nice. What's in here? Minor mana potion, that's not worth it. Wait, they have a tree as a potted plant. Last I checked, you can't get into the courtyard. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, it's a physical space with people patrolling out there. Yeah, they've just got a tree inside, growing apparently perfectly fine. I mean, this is a world with magic, so maybe they're enhancing the tree's growth with magic, but shouldn't really work. There doesn't seem to be quite enough light in this space to support a tree. You can have trees inside, but usually they're small, or you keep them in places with masses and masses of light. Wonder what's in here. Chakrams of execution, ice shards, chance to critical hit. Let's just take that because I won't be selling it. This is quite a nicely appointed place. None of them reacting in the slightest to the fact that I'm just destroying crates, earthenware, running around uninvited. None of their concern. I mean, he does seem to be treating the people... Oh yeah, there's no way into the courtyard, is there? This is the only place you can see it from, and that's got fences like waist-high fences. Oh, right, okay, so this is the way that I actually need to be going. But this is a place I can investigate, so let's go back. And explore... mess hall for the guards. And maybe their bunk house is through one of these doors, I guess? Wow, doorways that are completely boarded up with no handles or other door furniture that would let you open the doorway at all. Like maybe you push against the door and it folds down. Perhaps. Or maybe they sleep on these thick, luxurious rugs when they're done eating. Or on the tables. Or maybe they all climb into Lord Kandrian's bed all at once. Or sleep in it in shifts. Hi dude, how's it going? I'm going to save and see whether I can pickpocket his ring from him. Nope, he's completely aware of me. I mean, I can check him. Nothing to steal. Alright, never mind then. Which means that he doesn't have his ring on him. What's in here? Timeless necklace. Interesting. Damage resistance. This heavy golden pendant hums with magical power. Interesting. So, the place we need to get to is through here, where Kandrian sleeps. But that doesn't tell me whether... that's where I'll find the object, or whether it's where I will find it when he goes to sleep. Oh, it's right here. I don't even open it and find, like, the... this object contains menu. Just fucking immediately take the object from the desk. Oh, well, no, that's a set of drawers, isn't it? Dresser. What's in the armoire? Kandrian trade writ. A trade agreement by Brad and Kurgan, or Kurgren, traders of Tyrion's Rest. Brad and Kurgren traders, Lord Kandrian of Kandrian Keep. Witness agreement of 443 guardsmen's pikes to Lord Kandrian of the Erethel Plains in exchange for 50 rounds of Kandri cheese, 12 casks of wine, and such gold as counts the difference in trade. $443 guardsmen pikes. That can't be equipping 443 guardsmen. You would think that they would have some spares, but still, that's a lot of guards to equip. Again, the game is... don't worry about what I was doing in there. I couldn't possibly have stolen anything. You didn't leave anything of value in there, did you, after all? Haha. So once again, this is the game compressing the amount of information that we actually get to see. It suggests, without fully enumerating all the people. Like, interesting. There's a quite broad ledges up there. I wonder who gets up there to dust. Oh, well, we are children of dust, so of course nobody dusts. We just leave it to pile up like snowdrifts. This is the game compressing the amount of information, so ordinarily we should, if this were real, see probably not 400 guards all together, but we should see this place absolutely teeming with guards and loads of them outside patrolling as well. But there's 4 guards in this room. Oh wow, I've gone way over time.
Stand fast.
I'm already standing. Why do you need me to stand quickly? Okay, we are over time, so I will call things here. Thank you for watching. I hope you've had a good time. And I hope to see you again, whenever that happens to be. I will next be streaming on Friday, 8 PM GMT, roughly. I will... What will I be doing? Let's hand in this quest. And we're here. We've just completed it.
Hail, Wanderer.
Hail, Stay Stiller.
Ah, good, you got the ring. With this, we're one step closer to forcing Lord Kandrian out of his keep and unshackling the Kandrian Guard to challenge the Tuatha. Durant runs the general store here in Melaglir. He's a bit off, but he's said to have a singular knowledge of the arcane. We need to modify the ring before we return it to Lord Kandrian. There is an altar in Western Kandrian that is perfect for our needs. Take the ring there and place it on the altar. There may be some resistance to your efforts. Just ensure nothing disturbs the ring until it's finished.
What kind
Return
of
to
altar?
me when you're done. We must modify Lord Kandrian's signet ring with a bit of magic. Take the ring to Western Kandrian and place it on the altar. You may have to defend the ring until it's finished. There could be some resistance.
Why do you think this? Does the ring have magic of its own that would be defending it? Do you expect people to know somehow that I've got the ring, despite the fact that we're trying to do this before he notices that Kandrian, the owner of the ring, notices that it's missing? Like... And didn't you tell me that he only takes it off to sleep? That was clearly incorrect information, because he was awake when I stole it. Anyway. So that's what I'll be doing next time, along with taking the letter back to... Or, well, no, the reply to the letter.
Good evening.
From Matix back to whatever his name... Is that a pile of gold? Okay. We've got stuff to do, basically. And once we are done with those few things, we shall head... Well, there's a few other things to do, isn't there? There's Tyrion's Rest, and there was a place off Rathin or something? A castle? Oh, and I needed to get into Dolve Arn by getting an officer's pass. Anyway, plenty of things to do on Friday. Thank you for watching. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you want to come back to watch again. But if you don't, hey, fair enough. No worries. I will be here on Friday, 8 PM GMT. I hope to see you again. Goodbye.